Good morning, folks. So today I'm going to show you how to turn your Windows Server 2008 into a domain controller so that you can add your Windows Vista and other operating systems to a domain. So we're going to start setting up here. Let's power up my VM. Alright, there we go. Let's start with server. Right, so it's powered up. Well, it's not completely. There it is. So we're going to work with server 2008. Yeah. And we're going to start with the server manager, which automatically comes up, right? So we're going to go into rules at the server manager. Okay. Alright, so it's still collecting data. So we're going to wait till it's completely powered up. Still starting everything. And then we're going to add a rule. Once this option becomes available, we're going to add that rule to server 2008. And the rule that we're going to add is the Active Directory Domain Services. Yes. Right, so this is taking some time to power up, so we're just gonna right. So we're going to add a rule that this option has become available. Okay. Right. Alright. So this wizard helps you install rules on the server. You determine which rules to install based on the task you want the server to perform, such as documents or hosting a website. Before you continue, verify that the administrator account has a strong password, network settings such as IP address are configured. So we're going to go with that piece of advice. We're going to go into here to just double check to make sure that the IP addresses are configured. Right, when we have all these things here, we're going to go to properties, IPv4, Internet Protocol version 4. Right, so the IP addresses are configured for this, so we're going to leave that. Close. Right, okay, the latest security update from Windows Update are installed. So we're going to go back into network check. We're going to go into control panel. Windows updates. So let's double check here. Turn on automatic updates. Change settings. Alright, every day at okay, so right. If you have to complete any of the preceding steps, cancel the wizard, complete the step, and run the wizard again. So we're going to install Active Directory Domain Services, which is this here. Active Directory Domain Services stores information about objects on the network and makes this information available to users and network administrators. ADDS uses domain controllers to give network users access to permitted resources anywhere on the network through a single logon process. Okay, so we're going to click next. Click next again. Okay, after you install Active Directory Domain Services, the use of Active Directory Domain Services installation. Use the Active Directory Domain Services installation wizard to make the server a fully functioning domain controller. So we're going to run this dc promo.exe to make afterwards. If not, you can always, if by chance you install this and afterwards you click the finish wizard, and it's supposed to automatically come up, but if it does not automatically come up, you can go into the command prompt and run this executable file, and it will bring up the wizard. Okay, so let's install this. Okay, so it's installing. Okay, close this wizard and launch the active. Right, so this is what I was telling you about. So we're going to click close. If this does not automatically come up, you can always go into the command prompt and run it. That's right here. Okay, so it would seem that it's not going to run automatically, so we're going to type in dcpromo.exe, and there we go. So this is the installation of the Active Directory Domain Services to change this into a fully functioning domain controller. So we're going to click next. Okay. Alright. We're going to create a new domain in a new forest. We don't have an existing domain controller. Or we don't have an existing domain. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to name it as west.com. Simple. I'm going to use my name. Alright, so set the functional forest level, or the forest functional level. Now, if for some reason you are not sure which version your server is, you can use the lowest. It is recommended that you use the lowest functional level, which is Windows 2008. Okay, because if you go to the highest, you are not able to, and you have, say you have Windows Server 2000, and you choose Windows Server 2008 as a functional level, you will not be able to use, how do I say, you will not be able to add your, you will not be able to add different computers to your domain. It will not be able to function. However, if you choose the lowest level, you can always upgrade. So say you have Windows Server 2008 and you choose Windows Server 2000, you can always change, you can always raise it to Windows 2008 later on when you do figure out what server you are running. But if you choose Windows Server 2008 and you're running Windows Server 2000, it will not work. Okay, you cannot downgrade the functional level. You can always upgrade. Okay, so we're going to, well, you already know which server we're using. We're using Server 2008, right? You will be able to only add domain controllers that are running Windows Server 2008 or later to this forest. So we're going to go. Right, so we're going to use a DNS server. We recommend that you install a DNS server on the CRIs on the first domain controller. So we're going to go. Okay, so I'm going to click next. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to click next. Alright, so alright, so still installing. well, I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to take, so I'm going to pause it while it runs the installation, and then I'm going to return. Okay, and it has completed. All right, let's click finish, and we will restart now. All right. So we don't need to see all of this. All right. So as you can see here, we no longer have the administrator, uh, login page alone. It's got the domain name that I created before, first slash, and so we're going to add the password. We're going to login, right? So it's different. As you can see, it's now on the domain. Okay, so we're going to every computer that we add to the domain will have that same login screen where you would have to log in to that domain. Okay, so it will have the swes slash whatever the computer name is, and then you have to add the same password that you used to log into the server 2008 to this computer, to this to this VM or computer, whatever you want to call it, would be the same for every one of them that you use, every operating system that you add to the domain, every computer that you add to the domain, every PC that you add to the domain will have to use the same login password to log in to to log into their computer once you add them to the SWES domain. Okay, so let's close this off. Right. Okay, so we're gonna minimize this, and we're going to go to network. All right. So it's still, setting up everything. Right, so full name serverpc.swes.com. This is the domain it's at, the local area connection. As you can see here, I'm trying to get into the network here. Network discovery is not on. Click to change. Network discovery. Sharing. It's going to take a while. So refresh. Alright, so you can see the work group is now changed to the domain name, so you are sure that it's added to the domain. Okay, it's the domain controller. This is the main guy here, so everyone connects to this guy. Alright, so now this is the end of my tutorial on how to change how to turn server 2008 into the domain controller. I will see you next on my next video, which will show you how to add PCs to this domain, this swes.com domain. Alright, so until next time, I will see you then.